welcome to the You Heard podcast with your hosts, Ben, Joe, and CP. We're here to cover everything related to Miami Hurricanes football, from hot topics to pre- and post-game analysis.
All right, we'll talk about it at the end. We'll talk about it.
No, let's talk about that right now because you completely flipped it on me now.
I hate him for knowing this, bro. This man knew the brand, dog.
Okay, I don't appreciate that. I'm saying, like, I don't appreciate.
What did you say? What are we talking about, son?
Get into it.
I feel keeping it a buck.
You heard?
Family. Yes, sir. You see it. I'm here by myself, man. My guys are doing their thing, handling business. Shout out to them. Hey, no doubt, Nassau, man. I hope you like it, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just jumping. We're gonna have some more coming out. Hope you enjoy it, man. Let them know what it's all about, man. All about, man. FTPT, man. You already know what it is. Look, man, that's it. Offseason is over. All the graphics will still be coming out with more commitments when they see what we're doing on the field. But the work is the work now. That's it. Ain't no more hype. Ain't no more none of that. I don't get, you already know the last 2 seasons, I don't get caught up in off-season, you know what I'm saying, practice reports. It's all about 831. But Canes football is back. Yeah. Look, with this show, there's really no off-season, right? Y'all see the work don't stop. We don't take time off. We're here Wednesday and Sunday regardless. Either, you know what I'm saying, one of the four, so will always hold you down. But, man, when seeing Mario Cristobal, Ruben Bain, Cam Ward, Francisco Manoa, Jalen Rivers with the skull cap protecting the braids. What is it? The braids? You know what I'm saying? When you see them after practice with the new, by the way, I don't know if y'all caught this, they got new practice jerseys. The defensive and offensive line look like they have like shells and pads or something. I don't know if they were different color last year, or maybe they took them off in the interview, but I'm a big fan of that. Also need those practice jerseys because they got the outline with the numbers. I already know how I am about detail. But man, that's it. Canes are back. We got JoJo Trader talking about Damian Martinez looking swole. You know what I'm saying? It's just to see them back. Like college football was nice when it came out, right? The game, because it held us over to this. But there's nothing like this. Day one of fuck out of here. Day one of fall camp. Mostly summer. They're back, guys. Like, are you excited? Tell me how y'all feeling in the chat, man. We got 60 in the chat right now. We're having a guest jump on here in a little bit. How y'all feeling, man? Are you excited? I saw Jason pause on this last statement here. Jason says, fellas, what it do? Fall ball is here. No more sipping the Kool-Aid. It's full on. I'm not saying that word, Jason. I'm not saying that word, season. That just hard pause on that. You know what I'm saying? He's taking shots. Ain't no more sipping. It's taking shots right now. Y'all getting hype. I know Canes Fest is on Sunday. Sadly, none of us will be there, but we might have a reporter on site. You know what I'm saying? We try to make different things happen. But, man, like, all day today, just watching the content. Shout out to Inside the U. Shout out to Canes Football. By the way, did y'all catch the trailer for the U1 cut? Looks like we're coming out with another mini documentary. Man, there's just so much to talk about. But at the same time, you got to try and stay even keel because no games have happened yet. Live rounds haven't happened yet. Cam Ward, I loved his interview with the press. Loved it yesterday. His mentality is something that I think is going to be infectious throughout the team. I love that everybody's a little bit more confident. Ruben Bain's coming into his own, getting more comfortable in his own skin. It's hard not to get carried away right now, right? Because it's like that. You know, remember like when y'all were kids, man, and some of you still, you know what I'm saying, some of you got kids or whatever, and it was like the day before the first day of school, and you laid out, I don't know about y'all anymore, but you laid out your outfit for that first day. This is what today felt like. Like, it's the night before, like all the anticipatory anxiety, and you're just ready to fucking go. And then you realize you got 30 more days to wait. You realize it's 30 more days till 3:30 in the afternoon in a shitty place called the Swamp. That's gonna be just a cast iron skillet of fucking donkey sweat. Just to that game when we find out what the trenches really are, because that's what it's gonna come down to on 8/31. That's what it's gonna be. But man, football is here, fellas. Football is here. The Canes are back. I don't give a fuck. Some other schools started on Monday. Don't care. None of those other programs matter to me at all. It's FTBT for life. Like, I don't care that other programs start a week earlier, yada, yada, yada. Don't care about any other program but this one right here. This shit right here is unlike anything else. Seeing this team, seeing all the videos on social media, seeing, all the snippets, all the posts, all the tweets, just seeing what is it? Seeing Mark Mark Fletcher and Damian Martinez on Monday, just posting a quick clip of them in their helmets, seeing how excited they are. I was like, okay. I heard Joe in the back like, hey man, hey, listen, just stay calm. No Kool-Aid shit. Like, this is when it feels right. Joe will be back on Sunday. He has some work shit. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate that, Adam. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate you checking out the show. Remember, appreciate this also. Remember to like, share, subscribe. We're also available wherever you get your podcasts. Please leave us reviews all over Apple Podcasts. It helps grow the show, helps grow the family. You know what I mean? We got some more people coming on board. I'm out there. Listen, man, I'm out there with my loafers, man. I'm trying to recruit some super talented, important individuals in this fan base, because I keep it in the fan base. I don't try to change anybody's colors for this shit. They got to bleed this orange and green, and they got to be all about it. And yeah, I'm talking to you, man. Listen, I'm talking to you. They don't know who I'm talking to, but I'm talking to you. Okay? Y'all too sorry. Hey, listen, you came out, so come out and be part of the team, man. Jay Singh says, with all the hype, we're still projected as the third best team in the ACC. I love it. See, this is what I like. I just said this. I actually like that shit. I actually like that that we're third. I like that. I don't like the glazing, man. We don't glaze anybody here. Like, we don't do that shit. I don't catch y'all. I don't do any of those things. And another person that doesn't lie and always keeps it a buck with the rest of the family is this young man. Right? I don't know if he's young. He's probably younger than me. Is this young man right here? You know him, you love him from Calvacito and Canes. Our guy John. What's up, brother?
What's up, dude? I mean, if you consider 37 young, yeah, then I guess I'm young.
It's younger than me, bro. Listen, you're still in your. I'm 40, bro. Like, look, go ahead. You see this shit? This is real. I don't write and day my shit.
I got a little bit of that myself. It's coming in.
Yeah, bro. The chat is already jumping. Listen, man, before we get into the chat, all right, it's day one of fall camp, bro, or summer, because it's July 31st. Let's be honest. Yeah. How are you feeling? What are the vibes? Like, you getting crazy hyped, or you just like, bro, we'll see. How you feeling?
I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. I just kind of want the season to start already. The offseason's always a little different when you start game one with a big rivalry game like this, rather than Bethune-Cookman or FAMU or something like that. But when you start off the season game one against, a team like Florida in the Swamp, of course, the anticipation is there. You're itching for the season to start, and practice, I'm sure is a little more intense when that rivalry game's on the horizon. The pads are clicking a little harder. That ball's being zipped in there a little harder. It's a different kind of intensity, but it's more excitement than anything, because I know we're gonna put a good product on the field. How good is what we're gonna find out.
You think that's a great point, by the way. You think having Florida first though is exactly what a team like this needed? Like, so they don't have to like slow step and like, we got Bethune-Cookman. We could kind of take our time, kind of figure like, right, I gotta like hit the ground running, bro.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a different urgency for sure. And I think they know that a win in this game can set them up. if you go back to 2013, we didn't start the season with Florida. They were game number 2, but it was early in the season. We beat them, and we end up winning our first 7 or 8 games that year. Due in large part, I'm sure, to the momentum and confidence we felt coming out of that game. Florida ended up being kind of a fraud that year, but I think they were number 12 or number 11 when we beat them. So, yeah, man, that confidence can really create some momentum. It's especially in a sport like football when it's so many guys on the team. It's like that confidence is contagious. So, yeah, they know how big this one is.
Yeah, definitely. Have you got a chance to watch any of the press videos? You know, like the Cam Ward interview and any of that stuff. What was your takeaways with that? Because I got some thoughts, man. I want yours first, though.
Yeah, I definitely listened to or watched quite a few of them between coaches and players, and heard Mirabal speak, Cristobal, Ward, Restrepo. Yeah, I heard a lot of them, and the thing I come away with is they're going at this with a very business-like professional attitude. You've started to see that more. I started to see it a lot last year, and you see it even more this year. It seems like, okay, I've been saying it since last year. The culture is really turning a corner, and you didn't quite see it in the record just yet, but this year I think you will. But I came away with that. You know, there's not a lot of smack talking, but it's very business-like, but at the same time very loose and relaxed.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I definitely get an air of confidence from this team. Not cockiness, that's different, but definitely some confidence. And, you know, I think it was Saint talking about how much, you know, he and Cam talk smack on the field. It's like that's big, because it's good to have that smack talking. You know, you want to have that competitiveness, that competitive fire on Green Tree, so that Saturdays are easy. That's what we had in the past. So it's good to hear that again.
One of the things I always try to think of, like, little tidbits that they throw out that aren't, like, not necessarily like coach speak, but like just what I perceive as like real moments. And Coach Cristobal today had one that he goes, "You can't expect to be coach hard, practice hard, and play soft." Right? I think it was something along those lines that he quoted. And I was like, okay, I like that shit, because it's like a lot of times, like, oh, we'll ease into it, bro. We'll see how you're feeling. If you want to walk through practice, that'll be fine, which has happened in the past, and things like that. And the second part was Cam Ward saying that, like, yeah, well, I didn't like how we practiced. Like, it was a good practice. You know what I mean? Like, saying that openly was like, it was good, but I didn't like that like basically saying, like, I didn't like that the defense beat the offense today. Like, there was things that we need to work on, like that, calling, like, those things, like calling out your team in a respectful way without saying you were fucking trash or anything like that. Like, that permeates that, like, okay, we got to tighten up. I was like, because he ended up by saying, I was like, I'm sure we'll get them back tomorrow. You know what I mean? It was like he's that competitive where it's like, I want to win practices. Like, I want to win every snap all the time. Not that if something bad happens, I'm gonna hang my head. That mentality is already so important. And it comes from, like, his whole story, right? Being a 0-star guy, having to fight for everything and betting on himself. So those two moments, and Jalen Rivers and Ruben Bain had to, like, Ruben Bain seems like a 6-year senior. Like, that guy's, the way he carries himself is so different. And Jalen Rivers, obviously, like a 5th-year junior. But Ruben Bain, I'm a big fan of. Just talking to, like, you could see the difference from them talking last year to this year. You know what I mean? And the way they express themselves, like, they're growing, like, they're also growing into, like, young men. You know what I mean? They're growing into, like, their own skin in a way. It's like, we forget that, like, we think Ruben Bain's just gonna always throw 35-year-old right tackles from Clemson to the side like that. Like, he's only started. Like, he hasn't even began to become what he's going to be for real.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, bro. I'm trying not to get carried away, John. Like, I'm really trying, but, like, my hatred of Florida is so high that, like, I'm so focused on that game that I just want that day to be here already. Like, it's You know what I mean? Like this day's cool. Like this day's cool. I love it. I love that they're back in shells. And Saturday they'll practice, they'll scrimmage for real, and Sunday they'll scrimmage for the fans. But man, I just want it to be the 31st already. I really do. I really do. Let's get some of these questions here. I wish we were projected to finish lower, to be honest. Yeah. So ACC projected us to be third behind Florida State and Clemson. We'll talk about that in a second. So that was one of the things that the chat brought up. Anthony Mazzano says, do you think they have way too much faith in Dabo with him being ranked the best team in the ACC? That's a great question. IMAX says, both of y'all young. I turned 49 on the 22nd of July. Hey, happy belated birthday, IMAX. You know what I'm saying? What was that? Leo season. My mom's on the 25th. That's why I know that. That was the year we almost blew the game against North Carolina and made Ebron a first rounder. Please don't remind us. Thank you for that base, Jaron. Jay Singh says, I get it, John, but once we win on the 31st, the narrative will be, well, you should have won that game. That was a shitty Gator, so spin cycle, rinse, repeat. Yeah, it's not. That's 100% right. That might be the game that gets Billy Napier fired, by the way, if it goes the way of college football.
Definitely be.
Yeah. Coach soft, practice off, and expect to play hard. There it is. Coach soft. I said it backwards. Coach soft, practice off, and expect to play hard. Thank you, Angry Ape. Appreciate that. All right, my bad, Max. You're cancer. I apologize. I don't know my signs, man. That's my wife's job. She be knowing all that shit. She be knowing all that shit. I didn't know that was like the day of the difference. All right. So we were picked, but we'll get back to practice and all that in a second. So, kicks off in a month. We were picked to be third behind Clemson and Florida State. Okay, whatever. I like that. I prefer that. I didn't like Miami's going to win everything this year. Miami's going to be in the college football playoffs and all these high expectations of shit. I don't like that because I'm like, yo, we got to wait till the ball is kicked off to see what this team is really going to be. But what are your thoughts about because I hate Florida State. What are your thoughts about being ranked behind Florida State, honestly? Like, I'll give Clemson because I don't know if Clemson has, like, I got to look at their schedule. If somebody want to drop it in the chat, but I don't know if Clemson has the toughest schedule, but I think Florida State's a 4-loss team at very best. If I'm being honest, I just do. I just don't see it, bro. I don't see it. I don't see the fact that, like, let me rant for a second. I don't see the fact that a guy who's never developed his quarterback, that's been there for 6 years, is a guy to, like, depend on that much when he's not just relying on transfers. Like, he's an offensive guru, right? Which was what we shit on Mario not being. Oh, Mario's not an offensive coordinator. He never did. That guy is supposed to be an offensive guy. All his quarterbacks have transferred. All of them. He has to take a transfer to play. Like, I don't understand that logic because, to me, quarterback is the most important. And you're taking a guy who almost feels like a journeyman quarterback in college in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Because he didn't level up. Because I don't think, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just don't like Florida State, so I don't give him any credit ever. But yeah, so third in the ACC. John, go.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm a little surprised they put us that high. I think that shows me they actually did a little bit of homework. It showed that they followed what we did in the portal and the impact players that we brought in, and probably the fact that Mario's in his third season bringing in all these top classes. So yeah, it's got to lead to more wins, right? I mean, it's pretty simple. You bring in elite talent, you're going to win ball games.
Yeah.
So I am pleasantly surprised they had us as high as third. Should we? I mean, are we the best? I mean, football's not played on paper, so we can't go by what's on paper alone. We very well could win the ACC this year, or at least find ourselves in the championship game. So I'm not surprised they have Clemson and Florida State ahead of us just because what they've done in recent years. And it would be hard for me to, like, I don't know, rationalize us being number one going into the season because we haven't really proved it yet.
Correct.
I think we will. I'm confident we will do well, but we haven't proved it on the field just yet. So I wouldn't feel right about them just ranking us first. But then at the same time, third, I think we could beat both those teams in front of us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I'm fine with them putting us third preseason. I mean, at the end of the day, preseason rankings don't matter. But
they'll be anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even want to be ranked going into the season. If I'm being honest, I don't think we deserve to be
Yeah.
ranked because 7 and 6, 7. I mean, like preseason rankings, I think rankings should happen after like the second or third week. I mean, like you kind of have an idea who the top 25 are, you know what I mean? But like everything else is like who you don't know. I think more. I'll give Clemson because again, like I guess Dabo's been a proven commodity. As much as I can't stand him for whatever he's supposed to accomplish, but I think I just think I don't know if I would put other teams above Florida State. I'm not saying we need to be above Florida State, but like I don't believe in them. You know what I mean? Like I don't. I think last year was like that 2017 year for us. You know what I mean? Like where every ball just fell right, and to get us to like that 10-0, and then before the wheels came off. And you like I saw somebody post, and if I wish I could remember, so I give credit. It was like the whole team went once they faced adversity, the whole team quit for the bowl game and was like, "No, we're not doing this." You know what I'm saying? Like if that's and it's not the transfer portal thing, is we take transfers too. I think we've taken the same amount they've taken in the same amount of time. It's the bought in effect, right? Like you lost your guy Jordan Travis, and then you just go, well, fuck it, the season's over. You had a game where you could have made a hell of a statement against Georgia, but you chose to fold. You get what I'm saying? Like that's the part that bothers me. Like that's my last memory of you. You quit, and then I got to deal with y'all crying all off season. You know what I mean? Like that mentality doesn't bode as a second ranked or ACC championship contender. Dabo's gonna dabble. You know what I'm. You know what I'm saying? Like Dabo's gonna dabble. Dabo don't give a fuck. Dabo don't care about nobody. Like Dabo's gonna do what he wants to do forever. But like that mentality is in your locker room. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, what happens this year when they lose? They have some weird game on like the 24th of August against Georgia Tech. What happens when Georgia Tech beats the dog? You know what I mean? Because Georgia Tech is a problem. Like we could not like them. That offense is stupid.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what happens when your 18,000 transfers on both sides don't respond well? You know what I mean? Like where do you like where does that come? Like that's my issue with them. So it's not so much Miami being third. It's that I don't see the Florida State hype. Like I saw a break because I like to know some of my rivals. I saw a Florida State breakdown, and it was like, oh, I can see them in the college football playoff. I was like, how, bro? Like I don't see it. Like you showed if you lose one game, you're not gonna bounce back. You lost one player and you folded. We lost an entire defensive line and had one of our, you know what I'm saying? Like we lost 4 starters, and like it just there's a mentality there that is gonna show itself, and it's going to because he hasn't developed a culture. To me, that's my problem. Dabo is go ahead.
Yeah. Well, first with Dabo, I definitely feel like there was kind of a sense of just, it's Dabo's conference by default. Dabo's Clemson will rank them first until proven otherwise. Well, here's the thing. They've been proven otherwise for the last few years now. Clemson hasn't been Clemson for a while. And they're on the decline. They're not trending up. If anybody's paying attention. They're trending. It's very gradual. It's subtle, but the downward trend is there. Could Cade Klubnik have a great year? Yeah. I mean, I wasn't super impressed with him last year, to be honest with you.
Not at all.
But the ceiling is there. He has the talent to do it. He has a great tight end. I forget the dude's name, but their tight end kept them.
Guy? The 6'8" guy? Yeah.
He kept them in the game against us.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I thought we were playing very well against Clemson. But
100%.
They have a great tight end. They always have a solid running game. They're great in the trenches. I don't see big time elite Ohio State level playmakers on the outside, which you need if you want to compete for a national championship. They don't have that. FSU also, I think they're just kind of picking them also by default because while the playmakers are there on defense, they still got Patrick Payton, if I remember correctly. DJ Lundy. DJ Lundy. They got Fentrell Cypress, I believe is his name, one of the corners. They got playmakers on defense. They're going to be solid. Offensively is where I have questions with them. Yes, Uiagalelei he's what he is. He is what he is. Yeah, he showed a lot of improvement at Oregon State, but what was that? The scheme? Was it the running game helped them a lot? we'll see. Norvell, I'm sure, can take DJU and make something pretty good out of him. If you remember, I will give props to Coach Norvell on this. Jordan Travis was absolute trash 3 years ago.
Yeah, he was.
Even 2 years ago, I would say he was absolute trash. He started turning the corner after they got that really fluky win against us in 2021. Yeah, 2021.
The Rock? Is that the field goal? Is that the weird field goal one that went off at the end?
No, that's no. Where they blocked our extra point? No. That was way back. That was 2016.
Brad Kaya. That was Brad Kaya.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the one that they converted the 4th and 17 or whatever it was because Manny Diaz decides to play. Yeah, Manny Diaz decides to play a cover 2 and leave the middle of the field wide open. And our quarters are just like standing there looking at nobody. I'll get to Danny Mias in a minute, by the way. I have something to say about him. But but FSU, I think they lost a lot on offense. And about the whole culture thing, it's been a lot of transfers coming in and out. So you have a valid point there. Like, have they been able to establish a culture? Can they handle adversity? That first game against Georgia Tech, I agree, is going to be no joke. I think they're going to beat Georgia Tech because Norvell has shown that he can prepare for big games. I will give him that. I mean, 2 straight seasons they open against LSU. LSU, I thought, being the better team, they kicked LSU's ass both times.
Yeah. That's true.
They looked super prepared against both. So I don't think the travel, because it's one of those weird games that's like in Ireland or something.
Yeah, it's like the week before is like that week 0, like how it was.
It's a week 0 game. Yeah. So
it's Miami versus Florida years ago. Yeah.
If DJU comes in and he's an above average, solid game manager, they're going to win their 8 or 9 games. That's going to be one of them. I just think that gap that was there in 2022 where they blew us out has closed. If anything, we've surpassed them a bit. I just can't wait to prove it on the field.
Yeah. And it almost got proved actually with a freshman quarterback, you know what I'm saying, that was driving until he gave his arm up for a first down. You know what I mean? Like the chances were there. Like getting destroyed 1 year, you know what I'm saying? Like from getting destroyed 1 year to like on the road. Like we don't talk about we talk about like that's a crazy concept, right? Like we got stomped by them 1 year, and then the very next year we're a drive away from tying them. It's the same team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's it's so crazy, bro.
If you want a quick example of how drastically, talk about his game management skills or whatever, but his ability to build a program and turn a program around. If you want to look at an example of how much he changed things and how drastically he changed things in 1 year, look at the FSU game in 2022 and the FSU game in 2023.
Yep.
You're right. We go from getting blasted where our guys visibly quit in the second quarter to we go up to Tallahassee against a better FSU team.
Yep.
And oh, by the way, you don't have a quarterback now. You're going in with a freshman that is not even close to being ready.
Tunnel screens. Tunnel screens is all we had.
With tunnel screens and running it, and Don Chaney ramming it down their throat, and just old school trench ball, And we stayed in that game, and we had a chance to tie it. Like that is a huge, like, you look at that example, you're like, wow, okay, yeah, things really turned. Maybe you didn't get the results you wanted, but things are changing. And a big reason for that, speaking of our former coach, I was actually having a chat with someone who happens to be a former Hurricane recently.
Okay.
I won't put his name out there just yet.
Of course,
maybe I'll have him on my show one day. He and I,
good way to not snitch on who it was, John.
Yeah,
hey, this guy said this, but don't worry about it. He'll be a guest on my show. Yeah, nobody will put those two together.
Maybe I said maybe I'll talk to him. Maybe I'll have him on my show one day. But
who knows? Yeah.
But until he gives me that okay, I'm not going to mention his name. But basically, with the past regime, it was like to say practice was way softer would be an understatement. Like I'm talking about former players that saw it with their eyes, because former players go to practice all the time. Even players that you didn't know were there are there. You know what I'm saying? So And, they talk to the coaches and everything. And it's like, yeah, the difference just on the practice field is night and day. It's no wonder so many guys transferred out after Mario's first year because they couldn't hang. It was like when they say, a lot of people throw out the word country club mentality with the past, and not just Manny's regime. It was like previous regimes.
It's decades. Well. Yeah, it's decades.
It was almost 2 decades of a country club mentality. It was like, it seemed. I don't know. It just did not look like they were preparing for football. It just
it never did. It always looked like it always looked like once adversity hit or it was over, right? Like one bad play, you could chalk it up the rest of the game. That's it. It's folded. It's over.
But the way they
might as well change the channel.
Right. The way they practice and the way they handled preparation and all that, it's like, well, yeah. No, like I'm hearing all these things now. It's like, well, yeah, no wonder we folded in all these big games and got rolled by 60 points, on multiple different occasions.
Now, John, you said something earlier that we'll get back to the Florida State thing, like is what's getting me kind of hyped again about this year, because you get a Cam Ward, you get a Damian Martinez, you get a freaking nature on both sides of the ball in recruiting, and Bobby Pruitt and Elijah Lofton. You get a year ago of Ruben Bain, of Francis Mago, that are a year older, a year wiser, a year stronger. And we saw like, you take away like all the talking points and all that shit, you see the foundations of it, right? And all that is a year stronger and a year more together. So how, like, I don't know if you've done on obviously doing Canes, I don't know if you've done your prediction for the season yet. But man, like, what are your feelings? I know game one is gonna be game one, but like, if just off last year's proof, what are your feelings towards this season? Because camp is going to be camp. We're going to hear this guy was amazing today. And, it's going to be very hard to get true and honest opinion unless we're there seeing it with our own eyes, So we have to rely on, by the way, shout out to Inside the U, shout out to Caneville, shout out to everybody who gives us any information. I'm not crapping down y'all or Donald. This is not a shot at all. I'm just saying, like, we don't know, right, till game one, snap one. But what's your overall feeling towards this year, man? Like, how are you honestly, as a fan, right? Not the content creator, not the guy who does this, like how we do it, but like the fan. What is your true, honest feeling towards it?
Last year, it looks like, for the first time in, again, almost 2 decades, that we finally got a grasp of how to run the football and how to play the game correctly. And when I'm saying play the game correctly, it's like fundamentals, like linemen opening up holes for the running backs, playing physical, playing hard, high effort, high motor, like that kind of thing. I haven't seen that from this team in a long, long time. All those, all the rah-rah stuff, basically, that it just wasn't there. Last year, it finally looked like the toughness, the motivation, the not blowing assignments over and over again. Just the fundamental stuff like that was a lot more there. Whereas in years past, you got guys making spectacular plays, and then you got guys on the very next play leaving somebody wide open, and then you lose to Middle Tennessee State. So
yeah.
This past season, 2023, I finally saw fundamental, tough, physical football. And it led, like, that first week against Miami of Ohio. Some people were a little nervous. It was like, which Miami are we going to get? Let's see. We literally just rammed it down their throat all game long, and they couldn't hang with us.
Yep. Yeah.
Now, as I see that as a fan, and I'm like, okay, that's good. Keep building on that. Okay. So now I think this year, I think you'll see more of that, but against better teams. I think you'll see more of that against ACC level opponents, not group of 5 opponents.
Yep.
You add the most sought after quarterback in the transfer portal to that mix. I mean, that raises the whole, the the ceiling for everybody. So
Yeah.
I see it as definitely worst case improved by 2 or 3 games. Because I see that and I see the schedule we're facing. It's just get over that initial hump of Florida because it's in the swamp. It's not going to be easy, but get over that hump.
Mm-hmm.
We can get hot.
Yeah, no, definitely. Hold on, let me handle this question real quick from our guy John McIntosh, who made an order. John, I just checked as John was talking, and your shirts should be there next week. It's drop shipping, so it takes a little bit of time in, but it's coming to you next week. Appreciate the order, bro. 4 shirts, it's dope. Appreciate you supporting the show. Remember, guys, and John gave me the perfect segue. Remember, guys, youheardpodcast.com/merch to get all your shirts available for the show. Created from myself, Joe, Poke, CB. We all do this as a unit. And if you want to scan, if you're watching this on YouTube right now, you scan right here for the website. Appreciate you, man. All right. Now, John, look, we haven't done our season breakdown yet. Because we just haven't done it, sat down as a team. But I'm looking at it and I was like, man, all right, game 1, Cam Ward on the road. It's probably going to be hard fought. I watch all the like simulations on YouTube. Everything has us closely winning or closely losing, right? Again, it's college football 25. Doesn't mean shit. We don't even have our secondary on there. There's no schemes. It's not real life, right? It doesn't have little throwing in of an Elijah Loft, like whatever. It is what it is. But I still watch them because it's entertaining, and I want to see what like the algorithm says.
Yeah.
But when you add in, I think this is so big. When you add in the fact that there's a good chance that Mark Fletcher could get some snaps in that game, he might be ready. I know that he said it yesterday. They're slowly bringing him forward, but to have him as a second back behind a Damian Martinez, like I know everybody wants like the deep balls on the field and the 60-yard bombs and Cam Moore to throw for 460 yards and all that shit. Yes, I want that too. But man, there's really one part of me that just wants to bludgeon Florida, bro. Like just absolutely, like Clemson against Clemson in the third quarter, when we just held the ball for like 14 and a half minutes and like two 10-play drives or something crazy like that. That's what I like. That's what I want in that game, and to like settle everything in, because the O-line is gonna O-line, right? We have one new starter, which we'll talk about now, who you predict in a second. But man, just that game 1, because the rest of the games are the rest of the games. 8:31 is what it is right now. That's kind of the mentality I want to go into it with. Just absolutely punish them. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't think they have the D-line to hang with our O-line. I just don't think they have the weight, like the waves of personnel were like Martinez might get 3 or 4 yards the first carry, but that's going to build because Mario's not going to stop. You know what I mean? Like he's not going to be like, oh wait, oh well, it looks like your D-line looks a little fragile. Let me be gentle and throw the 8 go routes to give your D-line a break. That's not going to happen. So
no.
Oh my God, and Chris Johnson on the screen, like Sam Brown, which I'm hearing now might be the fastest. All of a sudden, it comes out. I know might be the fastest receiver on the field, which I had kind of forgot about Sam Brown because we didn't see him in spring, right? We picked him up after. So
he's also not in the video game for some reason.
I know he's not. He's not in the video game. So like, I gotta bench him and bring in Chris Johnson. Whatever. It's besides the point. Also, Michael Redding, real quick. Michael Redding did medically retire. Sadly, another one that we've lost to massive injuries, him and Zion Nelson. So I'm glad they're honoring his scholarship and able to finish up. He's also a member of Iron Arrow, which is an amazing community, an amazing what's it called? Yeah, not community, but some shit. Like a thing at the University of Miami, because for like genius people that are going to be great future leaders of America.
It's the highest honor you can get at Miami as a student. And they look at everything: grades, community service, athletics, extracurriculars. They look at everything you do, and it's like, that is a massive honor that you got that actually.
Yeah. Shout out to him. I think because he's graduated he's got a few degrees already from the university. Like really smart guy, and he's gonna be successful with whatever he does.
Yes, no, he's a brain. He's a brain.
Yeah.
So he's gonna do great things. had a chance to also be great on the football field on top of that, but unfortunately injuries,
injuries, bro,
set him on a different path. And I think I believe things happen for a reason. I think he's gonna be just fine.
Yeah, definitely, man. All right, Poke, our guy says we thought defense was physical last year. And listen, this defense is gonna be on another level of physical. Poke secretly hopes Cole McCown if he gets on the field this year. That's Poke's guy. There's a good chance he might be his kid out there.
I like him.
Yeah, big fan. Give Mario the play sheet and let him call run plays all game. Yeah, he just run count. Look against Duke. He's just gonna run counters. That's the only one I can project. That's the only one that we know.
Dude, against Duke, run counters and run screens because they're just going to be blitzing us all night. Little dump off screen and just keep doing that.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be trash. I'm hopefully gonna be at that game. Academic Society is a term we're looking for. Thank you, Poke. That's my guy helping me out. All right, we're gonna get them to this Caneswear ad, and we'll be right back with let's talk some position battles. Let's do that right here in a second. No, wrong one, guys. My bad.
Welcome to Caneswear.
New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Angry Ape says Cole is the white Ruben Bain. Callie Kane says JoJo's gonna shock people. And Poke is laughing at me. I don't appreciate that. Be the ones closest to you, John. All right, John. You break it down, man. What besides left guard, right? We all know that's what it is. It looks like that's gonna be the position battle of the season, of the offseason. What are some other position groups you're focused on this team? You can break it down, go as long as you want, man. Floor is yours.
Well, definitely safety. That's my biggest question. I have no doubt that Jaden Harris either will start or be in that rotation because we've seen him put in the work the last couple of years, and I think he's ready. He's put on some size. He's one of the faster safeties we've had in a long time. So, and he's been, his third year with the program, and I think he's ready to go. We're just a little thin there with proven guys. So you got Mish Powell, of course. That was a big pickup. You got Zaquan Patterson, who's a true freshman, but I think as the season goes, you'll see him start getting more and more reps, get more and more confidence. Physically already looks the part, but with Zay, it's in a defense like Lance Guidry's defense, especially in the secondary, there's a lot you have to learn. It's not going to happen in one offseason. So, if he just gets in there for 5 snaps, 7 snaps a game just to start off and get his feet wet, don't be surprised. It might take him a little time. But once he gets up to speed, oh boy, Zaquan's the real deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then Markeith Williams, I'm just, he seems to be in the right spot a lot of the time. Just please put on weight, please, or, please make the tackles. He's not afraid to be physical. It's just he sometimes will bounce off somebody. I want to see him. Yeah, I want to see him put a guy on the ground. But yeah, safety is like my only real question mark on how the 2 deep is going to look. Corners, I don't think this is talked about enough. I think we have maybe the best 2 deep at corner, maybe in the entire conference, because you got Daryl Porter Jr. and Damari Brown, likely your starters. Both, I think, are fantastic corners. I think Damari, he didn't have a chance to. He was a true freshman last year. He just showed flashes here and there. But as he got in later in the season, he showed he belonged. He's got the size. He's like 6'2", over 200 pounds right now, something like that. He's the size of an NFL corner right now. I think Damari Brown's going to have a big jump. And Daryl Porter, I mean, he was locking down his half of the field for 9 consecutive games until he got hurt.
Daryl Porter was like the defense's Jalen Rivers. You never really thought about it or mentioned him. People say he didn't have a good year. I don't remember a ball being caught on him. I'm sure it happened, right? but like it just doesn't register. We're like, oh
No.
shit, Daryl Porter got torched. Like I don't remember that repetitively happening where like it became a thing. You get what I'm
No,
saying?
he had
So
a
it's like
very. I think he had either he had a very low amount of targets, which is good. That means you're blanketing your receiver, or he had a very low amount of catches per target, something like that. One of those stats was like staggeringly good. So corner, I think we're set with our starters, and then behind them you got Jadis Richard, you got Diani Hill, which was a massive pickup because now you're too deep on either side. And as far as slot corner, you can bring Niche Powell down, on certain plays if you want to change the look. So that secondary is going to be interesting. I'm okay. I'm good with the depth we have at corner. It's more safety I'm concerned with. Linebacker, you mentioned him earlier. Cam Pruitt was a diamond in the rough that we found. And when you're good at scouting, you're going to find those guys. What was he? A 3, maybe a 4-star recruit?
He was like a mid-level 3-star. But if you watch the tape, I don't understand how you see mid-level 3-star. I don't understand people.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean he doesn't have much. He doesn't have a lot of size, but he's bulking up. He reminds me a lot of when Spence was here.
Yep.
Yeah, Sean Spence was. He was a blue chip guy, kind of a mid-tier 4-star. He wasn't even like an elite 4-star because of his size. He was a smaller guy. He came in like $190 or something. But from day one, Sean Spence came in and was in the right place at the right time, like on every play.
Yeah.
Cam Pruitt is that type of linebacker. So
man, that room is crazy deep, bro. That room is stupid.
Yeah, I was talking. The secondary doesn't have quite the numbers that the other positions have. The linebacker,
you next year.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's like the last part of the team left to like build layers of depth in. But linebacker, you got Pruitt, you got Washington, you got Kiko, you got
Popo.
Yeah, Chase Smith, Popo.
Yep.
Chase is finally healthy, by the way. So that's going to be fun to watch.
Yes.
Let's see who else. Who else am I missing? I know Darius Hayes, the freshman. He's looking good. He's got the size. I know I'm missing. Oh, Alderman. That was a nice pickup.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which will likely back up Wesley.
West the same. I think that's who I was missing. Yeah. You're. That's another position. You're two, maybe even 3 deep at some positions at linebacker. You've got some guys that are proven, or a freshman like Pruitt who maybe he's not proven yet, but in the spring, my God, I mean, I don't know what more proof you need that a freshman's going to play right away.
You could put Pruitt to me, right? Like just me gaming around. Like you could put Pruitt at like against a team that like is a heavy run team, and you could put him as a nickel. Like to be that interior, like that third linebacker type of guy, like that star position. You could put him there, which is what Guidry, the chat is saying. Like Guidry said, and I wanted Damari. I think Damari should be a nickel for this season. That bounce outside because I love Damari's physicality. I just love Jadeus with his length. I think he's that other boundary corner, but like Damari with his physicality, bro. He's the only guy, and I said he's the only guy that tackled the Rutgers running back last year, like in the bowl game. Nobody else could actually tackle him because all our guys were hurt. And everybody and people who sat out, they're ready for it.
Or didn't play,
yeah, exactly. So they sat out. So just Damari's physicality is stupid. It's just dumb.
But
dumb.
But no, linebacker. I like our numbers. We're finally healthy with certain guys, and defensive line is what I'm most excited about with the defense.
Talk about defensive line, John. I just love hearing all the names. I just love. Oh my God! Talk to me, John.
Make sure my headset's comfy. Let me settle in here. All right. So let's start with the obvious one, Ruben Bain. In my opinion, a future All-American. There's nothing more you can say about him. I mean, he literally he's a defensive end, right? That's his position. He was asked to play defensive tackle as a true freshman. You don't ask natural defensive ends to play D tackle as a true freshman unless you have just a rash of injuries and you don't have any other choice. That's what happened last year, and he did both very well. But he was at his best coming off the edge. I mean, until they started double teaming him and holding him, which they got away with a lot. I don't think they're going to get away with it this year because now officials officials know who he is. He's going to have that reputation now. Freshmen just get different treatment. It is what it is. But yeah, he's not going to have 7.5 sacks again. He's going to have double digits easy. Unless he's drawing. You got to put
that into context too. He had 7.5 sacks with nobody on the other side. All the edge rushers. All the edge rushers we had. Najee Kelly got hurt in the first game. Wish him all the best of luck at his next stop. Yeah, Mesidor got hurt in the first 3 games. You had to rely on JHH to be the other edge rusher. You know what I mean? Or the guy that we got from Purdue. You know what I mean? Like, no consistent, dedicated other edge rusher. The man had 7.5 sacks as a true freshman. Like we say, we throw out these numbers, but then you go, oh, no, hold on, wait. Who was the other edge rusher? Wait, we had a whole bunch of injuries on the defensive line, and our freshman had the best game, so they had to target him, and he still got 7.5. Now you got that's what I'm getting. You got Elijah Austin possibly on the other side, Tyler Barron on the other side. You could have Akeem Mesidor on the other side. If you don't throw Mezzi on the inside on the speed pass, yo, son, let me. All right, John, I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off. Go ahead.
So yeah, I won't stay on Ruben Bain too much because I mean, there's really nothing more you can say about him. Dude's going to be a stud, double-digit sacks this year, maybe vying for an All-American spot. That is a dude that's going to keep offensive coordinators awake at night. On the other side, as you said, Mesidor, you got Tyler Barron, who brought in as a portal pickup, impact guy, one of the best edge rushers of the SEC last year. I mean, can't say much more than that. And then who am I missing? Oh, and Elijah Alston, who, if you're into the PFF ratings and all that stuff, his ratings were very high last year. So you're bringing in a very productive, proven veteran who's a nice, quick, twitchy edge rusher off that edge. So again, another position you are too deep on either side with proven guys. So
with proven guys. With proven.
Right.
That's the correct. With proven. Now we get to the oh shit, what can they be category of this defensive trend shit.
Correct.
Go ahead, John.
And
keep talking.
I'm just going with the proven guys because now I think we're 3 deep at defensive end because you also have Malik Bryan. A lot of people forget about him.
Yep.
He's physically he's transformed his body to be able to play that position. And really naturally, he was more of a pass rusher in high school.
Yes.
That's kind of what
he should have always been the edge guy. You should have went right to edge as soon as you came here, for sure.
Yeah. That's where he did his best work for sure on his huddle reel. And then on the other side, you got, take your pick, Cole McConaughey, Marquise Lightfoot, Booker Pickett, guys Elias Rudolph, all young guys, most of those freshmen that I just named, but all elite though. One of them is going to poke their head through and be like, hey, I want some playing time. Let me go earn this. So that's 3 deep on either side. And then defensive tackle. You got CJ Clark. You got Simeon Barrow. This shouldn't go without saying yes. I know there was a weird situation with him during the season, but he's on the team. That's
all that matters.
That's all that matters. He's on the team.
That's it. All that stuff is over. Swept under the rug. Yep.
Yeah. He's an impact guy. You brought him in. He's kind of that last piece that we needed. You bring him in. You got CJ Clark, who brings in some size. He's going to be, I think, occupy blockers and be productive. Marley Cook, who I think is going to be this year's Branson Bean.
He's strong as fuck, bro. He's strong. He's a problem.
He may even be better. He may even be better than Dean. Let's see what happens. But
he's a problem. Yeah. Keep going.
And then behind him, but you got Justin Scott, who's just the freakiest freak of all freaks. That is That's the type of guy that Georgia rolls out of bed and they recruit, and they have 7 first-rounders on their defense. That's the type of player they normally get. Now we're starting to get those guys trickling in. Yeah. Justin Scott is an example of that. So you got him. You got Armando Blunt, who could be another one of those guys I just mentioned.
Yes.
I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, but my God, it's that
Ahmad Moten.
Ahmad Moten. Yes, I knew I forgot somebody. Yeah, no, we're 3 deep across the board on the defensive line with either proven guys, impact guys, or true freshmen that are good enough that they can play right away.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Hold on, let me get this done. Shout out to 27 King. Just place an order to support the brand. Go Kings. Appreciate you, 27 Kings. Be on the lookout for that order, man. It should come in the next couple weeks. Well, we're not Amazon. We try to do our own thing over here.
Josh Horton, I forgot about him.
Josh Horton, son. If he's healthy, oh my God. Shout out to 27 King for the dono, man. Yes, because you can gush over Justin Scott too. Everybody can get a compliment, son. Like, it's okay. Like, that's how deep this shit is. Like, we're 3 deep when last year, if we lost think about that turnaround as a fan base. Last year, if we lost 1 edge rusher, we were starting to, how are we going to figure this shit out? Now we got 3 deep. So that means your second guy might be just as good. And your third guy is going to get snaps to be better for next year, right? Because the third guy is likely a freshman, which is how it should be, which is how a roster should be built. We shouldn't be depending on freshmen all the time. Bain was thrust in there out of necessity. He was going to get snaps, but not to the level that he got. You know what I'm saying?
Artavius Jones. That's one of my favorite recruits in this class, actually.
Juggernaut, baby. That's fucking Juggernaut Jones.
Dude,
Juggernaut.
That guy. And then, of course, the kid from Columbus, I'm forgetting his name. Dalen Russell?
Dalen Russell. All day Dalen Russell. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a red shirt, though. That's likely a red shirt. Just with the depth we have.
He'll redshirt. I would imagine he's going to redshirt, and just because of his age, maybe Armando Blunt will redshirt. But then when I talk to people, I'm like, they're not so sure they don't think he's going to redshirt. Like, Armando Blunt is that good. I'm like, really? The kid just turned 17.
Yeah. So it's that freaky shit, right? Because we're old, we're uno viejo. Like, you remember when you were young? Like, if you watch Armando Blunt, because Armando Blunt was here in spring, I believe, right? When he was here in spring, you look at a picture of him and look at a picture of him now, the development that he's had. He looks like CB calls him a silverback gorilla. Like, he looks like an absolute monster. And he's 17. Like, we also forget that, red shirts, if not if we forget, I know our chat is very intelligent. Red shirt could just mean he could get his 4 games, and then, you know what I'm saying? And that could be spread out throughout the season. Like, we could use him targetedly because now we have the depth where we don't have to rush. Artavius Jones scares me. Like, Artavius Jones, first of all, spoken to him, very nice young man, comes from a great family, but his ability to, when he figures out, because he played everything on his team, played wide receiver. Please go watch the tape. It's the reason why we were retired. Our breakdowns, I was like, I don't need to watch anybody else's tape. This is the craziest shit I ever seen. He was taking wide receiver screens on his team. He was the tight end. He was the halfback. He's a
monster, dude.
He's ridiculous. Well, now he's getting targeted training and teachings from a Hall of Famer and a former NFL player on that D-line. He's only gonna get better. That dude next year, I don't know what he does this year. Can I speak on that? But that dude next year might
him next to Justin Scott. Can you imagine starting?
Yeah. Oh my fam. And then there's oh my God. And this is only gonna build. That D line is stupid. Like, it's disgusting. Rotate him. Starflaw asks, how does Artavius Jones look? Fucking massive. How about that, Star? He is also a state champion in weightlifting for the state of Florida, is what he is. I think he won the state championships.
And not just won the state championship, he was still new and kind of raw when it came to weightlifting. Mm-hmm. He's still kind of learning how, proper technique of how to weightlift. Yeah. Because as you know, with powerlifting, your technique has to be perfect or else you'll hurt yourself. You're going to destroy your back. He apparently was doing it on raw strength. That's how freaky he is. And like you said, taking wide receiver screens. And I mean, that alone is insane. But just a D tackle that can run down wide receivers and running back sideline to sideline is not easy to find. And he is that and then some.
Vince Wilfork.
Yeah.
Vince
Wilfork was listed. I remember seeing his weight watching games, and he's 325, 330. I'm like, bro, that guy's 400, bro. That guy is massive.
Yeah, that is not a jersey that they make. That's a custom-made jersey that they had to give him 100%. Oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, we won't need the portals bad after this year. Yeah, the portal next year is going to be a little bit different. I think we'll talk about that towards the end of the season. But it's going to be very, very keyed in, because also not sure when the 105 scholarships takes over. Should be here soon. Not sure.
It's supposed to be I read yesterday. It's supposed to be, I don't know if it's official, but they're thinking for the 25-26 season. So for the 2025 season.
Okay.
Is when they want to do it.
Right. So next year's class?
It should be next year's class. I'm the most excited I am for that is for baseball. They're going to get like 31 scholarships or something. I'm like,
to be it. It's incredible, bro. Finally, bro. Finally, we've been doing it with six all these years,
bro. Well, yeah. Well, a lot of people don't know this, but college baseball, you only get 11.7 scholarships a year, which I don't know how they do the 0.7. It's so weird. 7. So what some guys do is like, okay, these 5 or 6 get full scholarships. All these guys are on half scholarships, which that's everybody across the board. So you're like, okay, then it's fair then. Well, not really, because Miami is a private school. So all these guys that, let's say we get some elite pitcher, right? This happens every year, commits to Miami, or this power hitting right fielder. It's like, yes, we got one. Commits to Miami, but they're on a half scholarship, right? You know what the tuition is at Miami. It is steep.
Yep. Yes, it is.
The draft rolls around. I wish they would fix how they do this, but the baseball draft is after they announce their commitments. And say this kid gets drafted 3rd round, 4th round.
He's gone.
He's gone. He's going for the money, dude. Like, and I would too. So I know Polk's a big baseball guy. He's the baseball guy.
Been trying to get that guy to do a show about baseball forever. He's like, I don't know how to talk baseball. I was like, all we do is talk baseball. I only know baseball because of Polk. If we keep it like that guy knows his stuff, man.
But yeah, expanding the scholarship is going to help Miami a lot because LSU and Tennessee just won the national championship in baseball with the same 11 scholarships. But yeah, it's a public school. It's totally different. Totally different.
Yeah, I'm glad they changed that. That is a very big thing. You're right about that, John. Man, baseball hopefully getting better, getting more recruits out. So next year, JD Arteaga, right, our baseball coach, we'll have a full roster of guys that he can actually build up, because Miami does have a history, man. We're one of the best baseball franchises ever with this shit. Got a bunch of natties up there, so they got to get better. But man, they want a fall camp. John, I appreciate you so much, man, coming on, jumping on. We could always go long. I feel like you and I could always do like a 3-4 hour show just talking shit.
Easily.
But
easily.
Yeah. Let everybody, if they don't already follow you, man, let everybody know where they can follow you before we get up out of here.
The Cafecito and Kane show. Search me on YouTube. My Twitter handle's right down there. You could also find me on like Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. I'm across pretty much every social media platform, all the major ones anyway. So yeah, go check me out.
You still got the Dolphin one popping? I know we probably had big talk with the.
I haven't been doing a lot during the off season, but as the season gets going, I'll do more stuff. 1st and 20, go search first and 20 Dolphin show. I think is what you got to type in, because I haven't grown the channel very much yet, so you have to type it in like exactly to find it. Right. It's not easy.
Yep. We'll drop all the links in the description below as soon as we're done with the show, man. Appreciate you guys. Hey, fall camp is here. 30 days till belt to ass season, man. Let's get it. Appreciate you guys so much, man. Be safe.